Hey guys, this is Cam, Oregon Knife Guy, and got a few unboxings for you. A couple of them I've opened already, just for transparency. The Taylor's Eyewitness I carried for a couple days. Taylor's Eyewitness is their budget Barlow in their hardwood series. I'll get to measurements here shortly. I'm just going to show you what I got first. This is the package that they come in. I ordered this one from James and Company off the All About Pocket Knives website. And if you're looking for one of these English knives, the Arthur Wright or Taylor's Eyewitness or Michael May Custom, he has them there at his All About Pocket Knives store. And they're a good deal. I mean, better than if you order them from a English retailer. I think he basically covers the shipping from overseas. So that's the first one. I'll compare it to, I'll show you a couple of their Premier Series knives here in a minute. Next is a bigger box. It's a Rough Rider. And I've been looking for a dagger for a while to carry at night. And what I ended up with was this Rough Rider boot knife, which pretty good retention. Blade came nice and sharp. It's hollow ground on both sides. Nice knife. It was only around 20 bucks. So I'll set that there. Alright, and last of all was the Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive. I think they called it the Beer Tender. It's made by Bear & Son. And here, I'm going to move these. Unlike this one and the Taylor's Eyewitness, this is the first I have not seen this knife yet. So, it's got a little felt wrap. Here, better keep it in the screen. Oh, look at that. Look at that cover. That cover material is nice. I like that etch. That's a pretty deep feeling etch. Oh, that came out nice. Oh man, I like that blade etch. I think it's strange that Bear & Son has these blades that kind of cant forward. I have I don't know, 2 other Bear & Sons, I think, and they both do that. But what makes this the Beer Tender is this. And this sure is a strange blade. So you got the bottle opener, obviously. But you look, you can see that it was I think this was ground out of a clip point blank. Let's see what happens if you see. I don't know if you can see them. You see the nail neck position and the way this comes out and then cants forward. I would bet money that this is a clip point blank and they just ground it into that. I don't know why they didn't put a screwdriver tip. I mean, as you can see how blunt that edge is. It's not a screwdriver. I will be grinding mine into a screwdriver. I'll show you guys that when it's done. But the action's a little lazy on mine. Here, I'm going to try to sit down. Hopefully you guys can still see me. Oh, I just bumped the camera. You can still see everything. Okay. It's got a nice snap on the open. Pretty lazy walk and talk. Maybe it just needs cleaned up. The blades are nice and tight though. And there's a little gap down the center liner, which is steel. I agree with Tobias. It would have been nice if they would have used brass liners to stand out, and this blade just would look better if it was ground into some form of a tip. I mean, looking at it, you can see that it completely fills that blade well. I mean, it basically touches both sides as it closes in there. They're lucky that they even got it to fall in place. They didn't do any distal taper. You can see on this clip point blade how it is ground into a distal taper. This one has none of that, so they have very little room. Either way, this is a nice Barlow. I like the handle material. They did an alright job putting it together. I had a few things out I'm going to show this Barlow to, or compare this one to anyway. So this is a standard case Barlow. They look to be similar size. It's not quite as squared off on top as a case. And it has more curve down here in the handle, it looks like. But it looks nice. This is an old Remington. And, well, you can see they're a little different. Love this knife. This is one of my favorite old Barlows I have. The bone just is amazing. Alright, let's set these Barlows aside. Oh yeah, old Camillus too. That, I don't know if they're trying to make that look like beer, but I like that bone. Transitions are pretty nice. You can feel them a little, but barely. It looks like there's a little bit of a gap here that would have been nice if they filled. Maybe Smoky Mountain Knife Works could up their quality control on these. I would, with all the complaints I've heard that some of these are so tight you can't open them. That you'd think that they would check them out before they send them out. Okay, let's set these aside. All right. Now, I brought out a few. So, here's the Taylor's Eyewitness budget. That's an example of their premium series. You can see the difference. They both have the nice deep stamp. They both have a good firm back spring. There is no polishing, but other than that, they're really similar. This knife I plan on carrying every day from now on as my go-to slip joint. It's a hell of a work knife. It's got a good, tight back spring. You can hear that walk and talk. Their premium series does it too. Just some snap on those bad boys. Here's what they call their gentleman's clip. A lot of people call it a slim Barlow, but Taylor's Eyewitness calls this a gentleman's clip. This is a great steak knife. It is a little bit longer, but thinner. There's an Arthur Wright and another Arthur Wright. And oddly enough, even with the different handle shapes, they call both of these knives a Barlow. This is their lamb's foot Barlow. And this is, I think just a clip point Barlow. Well, getting plenty off topic here. Let's move these aside. Alright, so Taylor's Eyewitness. It's got a 3 3/8 inch handle. You got 2 3/4 blade with a 2 1/4 inch cutting edge. Say the Barlows, it's a 3 1/2 inch frame. 2 5/8 inch blade with a 2 1/4 inch cutting edge, it looks like. Oh, and then this dagger. This dagger is got a 4 1/2 inch blade overall with 2 4 inch blades or sharpened edges with a 4 inch handle. And I think that's it. That's all I've got. So to wrap her up, James & Company on the All About Pocket Knives website. It's got these knives for, I don't know, I think it was $36. It was like 40 something, 42, 43 with shipping. It's a great deal. This is a great pocket knife. These are all handmade. Even their budget line, Taylor's Eyewitness, has one craftsman that builds these knives. It's a great deal if you want a good Barlow. This is so far a fantastic dagger. Obviously, I haven't done a lot of cutting with it yet. And hopefully I don't have to, but it's there if I need it. The sheath on this, you can feel that the leather is very cheap leather. I mean, it almost looks like pleather, but it does smell like leather. The clip is really nice, though. When I clip it onto my belt, it's firm. It stays in there nicely. I'm sure it would work good in a boot. And the Baron Sun, Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive beer tender. I'm glad that I have this in my collection now, but this kind of feels like a miss to me. Like, they could have made it so much better by just grinding this into a screwdriver tip like it should have already been. And I don't know if this extra kick is necessary on a bottle opener blade. Maybe I'm just misremembering, but it seems like most of them don't have that. And it's definitely a missed opportunity for this tip. I mean, they could have either sharpened this and then you'd have another secondary blade, or it probably should have been ground into a screwdriver tip, which is what most people expect. But either way, I'm glad this one doesn't have all the problems that a lot of other people's have. The pins feel nice. The bone looks nice. Overall, I'm happy with it. I'll show you guys the modifications. I plan on grinding this into a screwdriver tip, and I plan on polishing this up a little bit. Probably not the blade. I like the blade the way it is, but I'm going to round these sharp edges off the handle and smooth out the wood. So that's all I've got for you today. My name's Cam, Oregon Knife Guy. I'm out.